Great day, beautiful people. So, welcome back to the channel. We're getting better with the technology. Hey. So, hope everybody's having a great morning. Was talking to some people about, their journey on weight loss, their journey on improving their quality of life. And we were talking about snacks. And I was asked, what's something that you eat that's healthy? And look, people, I'm getting a waistline back. What are some things that you eat, that are healthy that you can just munch on during the day? Because I'm like a potato chip lover, right? So one thing that I do is I like stock. And whatever it is that you like, fruit or vegetable, you can turn it into a daily snack. So I actually like broccoli stalks. Broccoli stalks. They're very, very sweet. And what you do is you peel out the outer hard layer, right? And then you slice it down and you create these broccoli chips. And I put them in plastic bags and I take them with me, when I go to work and when I go out during the day as something to snack on that's not just sweet, but it's also crispy. So that's a good way to get your snacking during the day. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. But we're going to make a smoothie this morning. And what we're going to do is, you can mix a whole bunch of stuff together and you can get a variety of flavors. But when you want something to dominate, you have to use more of that flavor, right? So I woke up this morning and I love these strawberries that Sappho bought me. I mean, like, they are really the bomb. They are so sweet. So I had a taste for strawberry and I wanted the strawberry to dominate in my smoothie this morning. Also, someone sent me a message yesterday and asked me how many liquid meals do I have during the course of the day. So what I typically do is I make a smoothie in the morning large enough to have 4 to 6 ounces for breakfast, and then I have some left over for lunch in case I want it. But then some days what I do is I freeze it and I make water rice and I have that in the evening as a snack. So typically I have my liquid meal is in the morning, and that works for me because I'm not a breakfast eater. I don't get an appetite until around 11 a.m. And with me being able to make these smoothies, I'm actually ingesting a bunch of fruits and vegetables that I wouldn't otherwise eat, right? Because I'm very, very particular about fruit. It has to be firm, it has to be sweet, it has to be this, it has to be that. But with smoothies, you can cut it, you can break it down, you can put it in your NutriBullet, and you can crush it and you can drink it. So what I'm finding is, like, a lot of things that I wouldn't ordinarily eat, like kiwi, like blackberry, like blueberry, I am drinking in a smoothie. So this morning I had and I use apple. Like, apple is my base fruit. I'm an applesauce fanatic. I love applesauce. So I use apples as my base fruit because whatever I want my dominant flavor to be, it will take over the apple. The apple's not like so overwhelming that it takes over the taste of the smoothie, right? But it gives it great texture. And the other thing that I wanted to add, because we were talking about the difference between a thick smoothie and a thin smoothie. So if you use ice or if you use frozen fruit, that will make your smoothie thicker, right? And you can actually, determine how you like that. But if you use a quarter cup of ice in your smoothies, it will make it thicker. So this morning we are going to make our smoothie, and most people know that I like spinach. Spinach is a superfood. I like spinach raw. I like spinach cooked, and I try and incorporate it into my smoothies every day. So for this morning, I have a half a cup of spinach, and I got a couple slices of banana. I'm not a fan of banana, and this is where smoothies have been also beneficial to my diet because bananas are really high in potassium and vitamins, and I otherwise would not eat them. So now I'm drinking them and it works for me. And when I use a little bit like this, I actually can't really taste it in my smoothie, so that works for me. So we have a half a cup of spinach. We got a couple slices of banana, and just throw that in. And then I have a cup of red apples. And what I did was I cored them and I cut them into cubes. And we're just going to add that in. And then, because I want my dominant flavor to be the strawberries, I got 4 very large strawberries, and I cut off the crowns and I cut them in half. And we're going to add that. This is going to be good, y'all. And for the texture, I usually use almond milk. And as I said, my grandson Khalif developed an allergy to almonds, so I'm very careful. My two grandsons, Chad and Khalif, who most people know, they're like rock stars, right? Khalif just turned 10 and Chad is about to turn 10. So I try and be careful about almonds in my house because Khalif has an allergy. I mean, to the extent where he has an EpiPen. And my boys love the smoothies. Like every morning that I make the smoothies, they're like, can we have some, Jetta? So I try and be very, very careful that when I'm making the smoothies, I use the coconut milk when I know Khalif is going to want to taste some. And the funny thing about my boys is they're funny like I am about fruit. They like certain types of fruit. They don't like certain types of fruit. So if it's a certain texture, I know they won't eat it or drink it, right? So this morning we are using almond milk, which is, look how thick that is. That is really rich. And we have a half a cup of that. And of course, yogurt. And I told y'all I can't stand yogurt, but yogurt is a very good probiotic. And for me, going through this transition, for me, I started on this journey because my daughter needs a kidney. At 28 years old, she was diagnosed with end-stage renal failure. So I wanted to be able to test to be able to become a donor. And what they did was they took my BMI, my body measurement index, and they determined that I was obese, right? And I knew I was a little overweight. And a lot of women of color, we don't believe that thing like really, addresses our weight and our body types. But I have to follow their guidelines in order to be able to test. So I went on a weight loss journey to begin to lose the weight, which I needed to lose 25 pounds. And I did. Between October and December, my goal date was New Year's Eve, and I lost the weight. My goal date was New Year's Day, and I lost the weight the day before New Year's Eve, which is the 30th, right? So I've been able to drop the weight. But one thing that I found out during the process, I went through all of my routine physicals and I was diagnosed with Hashimoto syndrome. And Hashimoto syndrome is an autoimmune disorder. It's hypothyroidism where my thyroid is underactive, right? And so I am trying to address the core of the disease because I don't have symptoms. I didn't have symptoms. It came up on routine blood work. But also I've known historically I suffer with chronic constipation, right? And I suffer with leaky gut, which means that toxins leak through my abdomen wall into my stomach, which actually promotes my chronic constipation. So things like, yogurt and chia seed are good for digestion and good for elimination. So I always use, as much as I don't like yogurt, I don't use a lot because I don't want to taste it. So I use a tablespoon of yogurt. And I really love vanilla flavoring, and you can use any kind of flavor that you like. I use this thing called Gut Connect because it has a vanilla cinnamon flavor. I'm not going to use that this morning. I also use this is sugar-free caramel flavoring. But this morning I am going to use vanilla flavoring. I really love the taste of vanilla. Even my coffee, I love French vanilla coffee. So we're going to add about a tablespoon of vanilla flavoring. And then we're going to prepare to NutriBullet. So I was actually in Walmart. I haven't shared this publicly, but some people know we were displaced from our house in October. A storm came through on August 4th, and we were having a new roof put on the house, the family house, and the storm blew the tarp off of my house. And it literally stormed in my house, and 70% of my house has been gutted. And we are currently displaced. We're in Roxborough. We're in a rental. Thank God for good insurance. But it has been difficult because we're not in our own home, and we have all these other challenges that we're dealing with, the boys with remote learning and my daughter with kidney disease. But we're getting through. But I was in Walmart one day and I was in there shopping for something, and I walked past the NutriBullet, and I started not to get it because in my house I have a million appliances, and Yancey has even created, my husband Yancey has even created shelves, right, for all of my beautiful appliances, and I have juicers and all of that. But I said I don't have a NutriBullet, right? So I said, well, let me get this and let me see. And I know I'm going to try and lose this weight, and this thing has been great for me personally, because it's easy, it's compact, it's easy to clean, and it works quickly. So I got the NutriBullet in Walmart for $29.99. So if you're thinking about juicing, you might want to go get a NutriBullet. So let's make sure that's on tight because we don't want it leaking inside. We're juicing. Look how beautiful that looks. Now, the one thing about the NutriBullet is you're not supposed to leave it running more than like a minute and a half because of the small motor. It overheats pretty quickly. So try not to leave it running too long. And it depends on how thick or how thin you like your smoothies, right? So if you like them thick, just grind your vegetables and your fruit down good enough and to be able to get that texture that you want. But if you want it a little thinner, just blend it a little more. I tend to like mine a little thick, because then it feels like I'm eating, right? And it's filling. But it works for me. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're on a weight loss journey or that you're just trying to improve the quality of your life. We have to be mindful of what we put in our bodies. And as I've been going along on this journey, the one thing that I realized is, a lot of the foods that I eat was killing me. And here's the thing. I've never been like big on fried foods. I've never been big on a lot of those foods with a lot of different additives and things like that. But I like sweets. I like pie. I like cake. I like ice cream. And I literally would have ice cream every night, right? And here's the thing. You can still have those things you love. During this journey, I am down 30 pounds. I am now beginning to see it. Like my friends, like Sappho and my husband, they say, I see it coming off, and I wasn't able to see it until the other day. I looked at a picture of myself. On Monday, I looked at a picture of myself, and I saw, and people were saying like your pants are baggy, and I couldn't see it. And now I'm beginning to see it. I see the 30 pounds that have rolled off my body as a result of me being conscious of what I put in my mouth. And what we'll do is I'll do another video and I'll share with you some other techniques that I've used to lose this weight that has been really beneficial to me. Because here's the thing, I do not starve myself. I do not deny myself the foods that I love because I will not be successful. I eat everything I love. I just eat it in moderation, and I'm very mindful about what I put in my mouth. So let's see what this looks like, y'all. That looks delicious. That looks delicious. So we have our strawberry apple smoothie for this morning. You can also take some of that, put it in a jar or a cup with a lid and stick it in the freezer, and you can have it later on for a snack with a spoon. But this is what we have for breakfast. So I want to wish you all a good day. Have a great day, unless you have other plans. And I'll see you next time.